On the bench today, we have the Kingston Deluxe sewing machine. This sewing machine was made approximately in the 1950s and is a clone of a Singer 15. The Singer 15 used what was considered Class 15 bobbins. This was a bobbin that was provided to me when the customer brought the machine for service. It had suffered a pretty catastrophic failure with the electrical. It had all melted and ran down the back of the machine. The light, the motor, all the electrical had to be replaced. But the Class 15 bobbin and the Class 15 bobbin case are what this machine uses. Also at that time, the threads that were most common were what were considered a stacked thread. That's going to be like the Coats and Clarks or Superior threads or some of the others you may be familiar with. Other threads that have more common now are threads that are cross-wound. This would be an example of Orifil thread. There are other manufacturers that make cross-wound threads as well. I wanted to demonstrate winding a bobbin on this machine and also showing how to load the bobbin and thread the top of the machine. It does thread quite differently than a lot of other machines. So to start with, this machine has a clutch on the side of the hand wheel. I'll try to turn the machine so that you can see that. I've got some things here in front of the machine I'm trying to not drop. It has an inner ring to it. We'll hold the outer ring, turn the inside ring towards ourselves. What that will do is disengage the clutch so that as we're winding a bobbin, the needle will not be going up and down. It's somewhat of a safety feature. In winding this bobbin that I've already wound here, this was the bobbin provided to me by the customer, the original bobbin. I wound it with no issues, but also wanted to wind a bobbin to show you how to go ahead and set the machine up. In doing so, I had a Class 15 bobbin that I had purchased locally within the last year or two, and I thought I would give it a try. One of the things that I ran into, you'll see when I place it on the bobbin post, it really does not go ahead and match up totally here onto the bobbin winder. It doesn't mesh in where it's supposed to be. And if we were to pull down, you'll notice this portion here is not riding in between the two outside pieces of the bobbin. So this bobbin will not fit, although it is a Class 15. We run into that sometimes with these old vintage machines. So if you get a package at the local store and you're like, but it's a Class 15 and it doesn't fit, it's just some variances sometimes. Not to be outdone with it, I looked in my little things of bobbins. This is another one that was picked up locally. It's a clear one. It too is a Class 15 bobbin. I tested it on the bobbin winder spindle before I did anything. I can see if I were to engage this as well, this metal piece will now fit within that portion if we clamp it down. The other one, it would not do that. So although we don't find a metal bobbin that would fit in ready to find in the stores, this plastic Class 15 is going to do just fine. So I'm going to pause the video and come back here in a moment, and I'll have it threaded up and I'll talk you through that.